Hello everybody, welcome to the webinar today. We're just going to wait a few more minutes to allow everyone else to join. So sit tight, grab a glass of water, and we'll get going in a few minutes. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get started in 2 minutes, just giving last few minutes for people to join. So feel free to grab a drink, and we'll get started in 2 minutes. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the Rocketfund fundraising webinar. Thank you so much for joining us on this. Well, I say us, there's normally 2 of us on this, but it's going to be me today. So welcome, thank you for joining me on this cold, wintry afternoon. So there's a really small group today, which is great because it means that I can answer all your questions, and we can have hopefully a really good proper chat about everything. So I've got a bunch of slides I'm going to go through with lots of examples of projects which are running on the platform at the moment. And if at any point you have a question, feel free to type it in the chat. I can't see you or hear you, so please make it as easy as possible for me by typing away and keeping the conversation active. If you want to speak, I think there's a functionality where you can raise your hand to speak, and that would be great too if you want to say something. Let's do a chat at the end. But yeah, talk about the benefits of crowdfunding for schools and PTAs. Describe what makes a good crowdfunding project and show some do's and don'ts. Then we're going to talk about the rewards you might want to offer, and then we're going to go through a bunch of school fundraising ideas and look at existing sort of projects which are on the Rocketfund platform, which might give you some inspiration. Sorry, yeah, that's annoying. It's cutting out. Is anyone else having any sound issues? If you can type in the box if you're having sound issues. Sometimes we have these things. Can everyone hear me okay? I've frozen. Great. I don't know what we can do about that. My connection's good. I'm gonna. Can anyone else? Can you guys still hear me? But yeah. Can you hear me okay now? Okay, cool. Right, okay, so let's go through the slides without my webcam on. That might help. So first of all, what is Rocketfund? What is Rocketfund? Rocketfund is a crowdfunding platform for schools that I created about 4 years ago now, whilst at Nesta, which is a big innovation charity. And we've helped schools raise over £500,000 across those years. And that's from over 600 schools and PTAs. Thanks, Dan. This February, Rocketfund was acquired by Crowdfunder, which is a much larger crowdfunding platform. And that is not just for schools, but for all sorts of projects, mostly all with a social orientation. So anything from like cafes and pubs to charities and bike workshops. It's a huge range of projects, and they've raised huge amounts of money for these guys. So the benefits of Crowdfunder acquiring Rocketfund is that now we have a much better platform and much more experience to tap into with their customer support team and the tech teams and the partnerships teams. So first question, can you type in the chat box who's here? So tell me your name and what you do, if you're a teacher or part of the PTA, and which school you're at. It's a good test, see if anyone can hear me as well. So yeah, if you can type in the chat box who's here, it'd be really cool. Can anyone hear me? Just type yes if you can hear me. Teacher, great, thank you guys. Chair of Governors, brilliant. PTA, school business manager, okay, what great range. And thank you so much for sharing that. So now I'm going to talk about what crowdfunding actually is. This is our dictionary definition. It's the process of raising money from a large number of people, usually over the internet. It doesn't have to be over the internet. Crowdfunding has goes back a long, long way. So here's a great example: is that when New York was donated the Statue of Liberty from France, they couldn't afford the plinth for her to stand on, so they had to fundraise for it from the people of New York. Obviously, they didn't have the internet back then, so it was I think it was via check. They were asking for donations to try and build that plinth, which obviously looks fantastic today. So simply the process of collecting money from a large group of people. We just use the internet nowadays to make it much simpler and quicker to do. There are 5 different forms of crowdfunding. Donation-based, which is just simply giving, like Just Giving, you're probably familiar with. There's rewards-based crowdfunding, so you're offering rewards in return for the donations, which is a really great way to literally to sell things, like sell products or services or tickets to events, and also to encourage bigger donations. And then there are these other three other forms of crowdfunding, which we don't do, and you probably wouldn't be interested in as a school. You might come across equity-based for startups and community shares for community projects. But anyway, we don't touch that. It's not really relevant for schools. It's more about donations, or simply donations, and reward-based. And so here are the benefits of crowdfunding for schools and PTAs. It means you can collect donations from anyone, anywhere, and any time. So instead of sort of waiting for the bake sale or for people to come in physically, it's much easier to do. It also means you can aggregate all your school fundraising projects into a central hub. So you create a profile on Rocketfund, and then you can create multiple projects, throughout the year for either individual campaigns. So like, one term you're raising money for some iPads, maybe next term you raise money for some big TV screens or something. So it means you have them all in the same place and keep track of that. you can also create sub-projects beneath each campaign. So say you're trying to raise 10 grand for some big interactive whiteboards, you can create sub-projects below that for each event. So for a quiz or a Santa Dash, or even if, say, one of the students is doing a challenge, and so you can sort of collect everything into one place, which I'll show you later. The other benefits are that it enables people to donate anonymously. So this is really quite popular especially with larger donors. They can remain anonymous if they like. And it enables people to donate as much as they like, which is kind of the most important part. One of my favorite things, people can donate £1 or they can donate £1,000. And there's no pressure. So you simply share the project, your project, and ask people to donate or share. And so and you'll be quite surprised at what comes out of the woodwork when you do that. So I was going to ask let's ask what do you want to fundraise for. So if you again type in the chat box, what do you want to fundraise for this year? Interactive whiteboards, great. There's a project which is flying at the moment, raising money for those. Any other on things on the wish list? An edible playground, that sounds amazing. And more interactive whiteboards, environmental improvements, and I mean, you're going to have to explain to me what edible playgrounds are in a minute. That sounds like fantastic. Okay, cool. So here's how it works. This is the basic structure. So you create a project on Rocketfund, you go live, you share that with everyone you know. People then donate, and hopefully you hit your targets. And then afterwards, you send the rewards. That's it. I'm going to go through each step now. So first of all, you create a project. On the left is how you do it. On the right is an example, which is live at the moment. So you go to rocketfund.org, click Get Started, and literally it should be really self-explanatory. And the platform will take you through the process. Add your story, add any images you want to and videos, and add some rewards. And then you can save this as a draft, you can do a preview, and then just launch it whenever you're ready. Here's a nice example that's live at the moment. They've only got one image, which is the sort of featured image. This is their sort of tagline or their main aim for the project. Here's their target, trying to raise £1,400, and here's how many people they've had donate, and here's how many days they have left. And then here's their project description here, which goes on a bit further down the page. And this is once they're live, you can see when people leave comments, which are really sweet normally, who's donated, and you can send updates to everyone who's following you or who has supported you to sort of keep them engaged with your project. So once you create the project, you then share it with everybody you know. And this and one way of sort of structuring, like creating a plan for this, that we suggest is building a supporters map. And here on the right-hand side is a sort of a framework that you could use to brainstorm potential supporters for your project. We'll be sharing these slides, guys. So and there's also, these are all in our fundraising guide too, which I'll share. So don't worry about scribbling this down. But essentially, the supporters map is a way of listing out all potential groups of people who might want to support your school, and naming them and potentially adding the sort of ways you can reach them. This could be a really good way of surfacing people that you may not have thought of initially. So the parents, friends and family are a really key group and are probably going to be your biggest supporters, but that's where you start. And then you want to hopefully go beyond that group to the wider community. So local businesses, parents' businesses, school alumni, people like that, school suppliers, people like that who would never normally be able to come to your bake sale or disco or whatever, but would love to support your school if asked. So this is a great way to sort of brainstorm with people. And then you share with them. So just send your project, send it out there, using your newsletter, your school website, get it on social media as much as possible. Send it out on parent mail and parent text message system, works really well. Because the website's mobile ready, so people can donate on their phone with a credit card very, very easily. And just get out in any networks that you can. So PTA networks, government networks, alumni networks, anything that you have a connection to, then ask the people who run that network to share it. And like, so a top tip is that if you can, try to build excitement about your project before you launch. So say you're planning a big, you're raising money for whiteboards, for interactive whiteboards, and you're planning a prize draw that's going to launch next week. You can start talking about it this week and to sort of build awareness and excitement about it, so that when you do go live, the donations come in straight away. And this just gets you going much, much quicker. And the more momentum and more social proof you have, the better, because it leads to sort of, it just snowballs. There's a huge snowball effect. And then hopefully the money will fly in. Like I said, this is the record-breaking project, the lead project at the moment, actually. It's a surprise draw. They've raised 10 grand in the last 2 weeks towards some interactive whiteboards. And I'll show you the full project in a sec, but like, it's just, once it gets going, it's brilliant. And then hopefully hit your target. Here's one that we made earlier. Here's one project that like finished in the summer, raised money for some levers jumpers. And yeah, once you hit your target, the money then gets transferred to your bank account within 7 days. And you can go and buy what you said you were going to buy and send your rewards out to your donors, which is, like I mentioned, the sort of the thank you bit that you do at the end. And to do that, it's really easy because your project dashboard will show you who's donated, and you can message them directly through the dashboard, and you can also export their contact details through the dashboard if you need to send an email to them instead of a message to the platform. Right, any questions so far? Feel free to type them in the box, guys. Any questions? Okay, brilliant. And feel free to type any questions when they come up, and then I'll get them at like the next natural pause. Great, thank you. And I hope I'm not speaking too fast as well. Tell me to slow down. Okay, so what makes a good crowdfunding project? Here are 2 projects that are live at the moment. Both are great, but one is like an A grade crowdfunding project on the right, and one's it's nice, but it's probably just it's just a C. I would give it a C. It's passable, but it's not. It could be better. So on the left, like, it's a lovely idea, really great campaign. It's a winter windows walk, so it's a sort of Christmas lights trail. The students can go around and look at the different Christmas lights in the town. Lovely idea. But the project, there's no rewards in the project, so there's no incentive to donate more. It's like a sort of, it's not very personal. There's no, you could some pictures of the lights might be more inspiring, and having a sort of really clear, like, you need a clear aim and a clear sort of benefits. So, so they could literally be selling tickets, for example, to go on the winter walk would be a simple reward. £2, £5 to go on the walk. We'll make it just really clear to people how much they should be donating, and you can always have bigger rewards too to encourage larger donations. Hi Anita, if you click the play button, you should be able to see the slides. And okay, so the one on the right hand side though is an A grade because they've just done everything brilliantly. They've got a really good video. I say good doesn't need to be an Oscar winner. It just needs to be like a video which includes you, the fundraiser, or teachers, or the students, and we'll show the video in a bit. They've also got like really nice images in the project itself that brings the whole thing to life, and they've got a clear aim. Sorry, it wasn't very interactive whiteboard. It's for outdoor seating, so that everyone knows what this campaign is about. I'm trying to raise money for outdoor seating, and it's a prize draw. So if I show you if you go to this if I share my screen, actually it'd be much easier to see. Right, if you can see my screen, hopefully. This is their project live on Rocketfund now. Really nice video. This is their project with a description, like nice clear headings. And they've really personalised it with images of the PTA from the Christmas fair last year, so people recognise them and know who they're supporting. And there's even so the hamper that you might win through the prize draw. And then they've got loads of rewards. So a £10 basic donation is one entry to the prize draw, £20 two entries, and so on. So it encourages more and more bigger rewards. As you can see, they've got tons of supporters, almost 300 supporters. And this is all public, so you could explore this yourself too. If someone wants to remain anonymous, that's totally fine. And they've also enabled gift aids. So if you're a charity, you can enable people to add gift aids to the donations. Obviously, really helps. They're going to raise over £2,000 in gift aid on top of their 10 grand they'd raised in cash. And then one of my favourite parts of sort of the whole thing is the comments box. There's a lot of love which gets typed in here after people donate, that going towards the school, and it's just wonderful to see this coming in. And then as a project owner, you can message everybody who's donated to say thank you if you wanted to, or you can even message them individually. Well, this project hasn't quite perfect because they've done really, really well, but they haven't sent any updates yet. So I'd really recommend sending updates, even after your first few days when your first donations come in, especially when you hit big targets like, they've already hit the target at 102%. It's really worth sharing those milestones with everybody, because when someone donated, say, 2 weeks ago, they've forgotten how you're doing. They won't be checking the page every day or getting donor emails like you will be doing. So keep them engaged by sending them updates every time you hit a big milestone, or just every week or something, to keep them in, take them on the journey with you. This is a huge amount of money. If this was a school that I say my old school or my local school, and I donated 20 quid 2 weeks ago, and I then heard that they'd raised 10 grand, that's a fantastic achievement that I feel like as a donor I'll be part of. And if you then ask people to help you hit your stretch target or to keep going, even better. So you can then say to everyone, hey guys, we're now going for 15 grand, so can you please help us hit that target by spreading the word, sharing the link with anyone you know. So that's how to really supercharge your fundraising. Right, so back to the slides. I hope that was okay. Let's start the slides again if I can. And so I'll go to the questions first. Do you have to offer rewards? No, you don't have to offer rewards. That's totally up to you. I just suggest it as a really good way to encourage larger donations, but you don't have to. Most people are happy just to donate. And so the second question, does nobody donate without getting a reward? No, it's totally fine. You can definitely just, lots of projects are on there at the moment, on Rocketfund at the moment, not offering rewards, and they do really well too. It's just a way of encouraging larger donations, and maybe offering a product or a service, or having fun with it. But I would suggest it's a way of increasing the amount that you're raising by offering rewards. So perhaps you could say, yes, the most successful projects do offer rewards, but it's not essential. Right, I hope that helps. There we go, back to the slides if I can. Okay, so Anita, I can see you want to speak. If I accept that now, I think you should be able to speak. Hi, Anita. Okay, sorry, that's not working. This isn't quite as clever as Zoom, but if you wanted to give it a go when you're ready, Anita, or just type a message in the chat box. Okay, so why was that project good? It's got a good title. It includes the name of the school, so when people share that, it's immediately obvious who's fundraising. It's got a good tagline, or sort of project aim, which is what appears here on the right-hand side. Realistic target, to be fair, it's a big target, 10 grand, and a stretch target, but it's an achievable target based on what they've done before. So if you've never raised 10 grand before, maybe don't go for that straight away. But if you have, and you think you're confident in your audience, then go for it. If you're not confident, then you can always go for a smaller amount and have a bigger stretch target. lots of images, yeah, like I said, on this project, which is fantastic, really brings it to life. Nice video and a really clear story. They're raising money, but obviously due to COVID, they need more outdoor, more outdoor seating. So really strong, simple story, and they're doing it the way they're encouraging larger donations is doing a prize draw, so you can win a Fortnite Mason's hamper in return for your donation. Right, just going to go to questions. So John, about doing a competition with a fundraiser. Yeah, I think that's a really great idea. Actually, I will share my screen again. I'll show you a fundraiser which is live at the moment, which I really like. Who's sort of, they haven't done competition, but you could definitely run it like that, and it will be a really great way to sort of engage the students and get everybody involved. Let me just find the project on Rocketfund. I'll share my screen. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and show you this project. Okay, so this is the project live at the moment. They've almost raised £7,000 plus £900 in gift aid. Doing really well. No rewards, so you can see that it can be done without rewards. Totally fine. But what they've done really well, we've got a thing called a multiplier functionality, which means if you ask us to turn that on, then you get this button here appear on your page, which means anyone can start fundraising towards your cause. So this is the base project, base page. This is your overall campaign. This is what you're trying to do. This is what your overall target is. If I click that button, it asks me to create my own fundraiser towards this project. So then, which is great because it means I don't have to put any more bank details in or ID. It just goes straight to this original page and the bank account which is connected to this. And these guys use it to great effect. So they've got 12 fundraisers now, all sort of working towards this goal. And you can see all the fundraisers down here. They've actually encouraged the students to do it. I think parents to set up the project on the students' behalf. And then you get this like leaderboard showing how much people have raised towards the project. So you could do this, say these students, John, you could do this, each class. So Mia have raised this much. And if you click on that, you can see their project. Really super simple. If these guys raised almost £400, you can imagine this being year 6. Help us raise money towards the interactive whiteboards. And they've got their own dedicated project page. They can see who their supporters are, and the supporters can leave comments. So it's really nice and personal. But it's going towards this overall project, which is in this case the PTA was running, but obviously it could be the school was running as well. I love this feature, and this is the first project to really run with it on the new feature we've just launched recently. And give it a go. It's a really great way of like we say, multiplying your reach and your potential fundraising power by getting more people involved. And also could be loads of fun because you can have this a bit of a light-hearted competition to encourage the different classes to get involved. And that could be anything from doing an activity to raise money, or just simply it's a competition to raise the most money, and it'll be displayed on the main page. Also, all donors from these sub projects and the main project will appear in the main project's supporters tab here, which is also really nice. So I hope that helped. I'm going to go back to the slides now. Actually, just double check there's no questions. I need to like the function. Great. Best time of year to launch fundraisers. Now is a great time to launch it because of Christmas. Everyone's in the giving mood. A bit of a strange time because of COVID. Some people have got, they're very tight for money, but some people have got lots of money because they literally have nothing to spend the money on. So give it a go now, but also, to be honest, it's totally up to you. Like the best time to launch it is totally your call. Like the best time in your own school year when you have time to do this. We'd recommend running a campaign for 4 weeks. It's like the optimum amount of time. Like it's long enough to keep it exciting, but it's not too long to get boring, and it's long enough for you to gain some momentum. And John, you just asked time it on. You can run this as long as you like. We recommend starting at 4 weeks, but you can always go longer than that, and you can extend it in the future, and you can also make it always on. So some projects, when they finish, just go to always on, so you can refer people to that page in the future if you wanted to. Right, just going back to the other questions. Anita, about you can use Rocketfund to get gift aid on donations. Yes, you can. If you're a charity, just tick that box as you're going through creating a project, and then when donors come through, they'll be asked if they like that gift aid. And then at the end of your project, you'll receive a downloadable file which has all the donors' details in the format that you need to upload that to HMRC with your next gift aid claim. Just another question. So how to encourage others to donate. So that's awesome. You already have £2,000 donated. I would just add, so create a project, with your final target up, say it's 10 grand, and then you can say in your project's description, we've already had £2 grand donated by this person or this company. You're fantastic. Help us raise the other £8,000 to buy the Wi-Fi and laptops we need for home use. Just make it part of your campaign and make it clear, and it just shows that you've got track momentum, which is great. Right, I think that's all the questions. Oh, please repeat. Okay. Yeah, so with regards to gift aid, so the way gift aid works, like I said was tick the box as you're creating your project, and then when people are asked to donate, I'll show you actually on the screen. These guys are collecting gift aid. So if I share my screen now, show how it works. If I click donate now as a punter, because they've ticked gift aid, so as a donor, I can also add gift aid to my donation, and then it asks for sort of the standard gift aid details. If you do that, then you as a project creator will be able to claim the gift aid when you finish. So we give you a downloadable file at the end, which you can literally download and then upload straight to the HMRC website with your next gift aid claim, and claim the gift aid as you normally would for other claims. Right, so I hope that was okay. I'm sorry, Anita. Can everyone else hear me? I hope that's clear. Anita, essentially regarding gift aid, you can download the donors' details at the end of the project and then upload that to HMRC as you normally would with a gift aid claim. Okay, thanks, Sean. Sarah, yes, to claim gift aid, your charity needs to be registered with a charity. No, we don't offer a workaround. So just asking Sarah's question, a local license to run a draw. So we'll talk about prize draws and raffles a bit in a sec. But the simple answer is, if you want to run a raffle, you need a license. If you want to run a prize draw, you don't need a license. You just need to follow the rules carefully to make sure it's a prize draw or a competition rather than a raffle. And we've got some guidelines on the prize draw page, which will show you how to do that. And transaction fees. So we don't charge any transaction fees to use Rocketfund. There's no commission, but you do get charged payment processing fees by our payment processor, which are the standard credit card fees. It's 1.9% plus 23p plus VAT per donation. So roughly 2 to 3% per donation, and that's just the standard credit card processing fees. We don't take any of that. The way we try and cover our costs is we ask donors to make a tip when they donate to help us keep this free for schools. I hope that helps. Right, so back to the slides. Okay, now let's look at rewards. What rewards should you offer? So you don't have to offer rewards, but they're a good addition to your project. My top tip is keep them simple. So they could literally be just different levels of thank you. £10 for thank you from the teacher, £20 for a thank you from the head teacher, and £30 for a thank you from the students, which could just be one single generic thank you you've made and then you send out to everybody, or even a little video song or something. But that's keeping it simple and keeping them digital. But you can also offer other things. So these are some examples from another project. offering like gifts that this maybe the students made, or an invite to an event when COVID allows, or tickets for virtual events. And here's some sort of categories or areas, things you can offer. You know, like a product or service, like literally you can offer physical things and tickets to events, like I talked about. Sponsorship opportunities is a great one for like bigger rewards, like for businesses. You could say, you know, £500 to get your name on our thank you board or our school newsletter, or at the end of our film, or something like that. So it's just, you know, use your imagination to create like a sponsorship opportunities, which I like all estate agents, for example, or a supermarket or solicitors might be interested in doing. Or it could simply be thank you messages, which also work really well. Just answering the question, debit card donations aren't free. It's a standard transaction fee on everything. The only difference is if it's a non-European card, it's a slightly higher transaction fee. So, okay, so it's, yeah, basically it's a card fee that every retailer gets charged when they take card payments. Okay, so right. Weird emojis. They don't know why they've done that. That wasn't what it looked like when I created the presentation. But let's just go through some school fundraising ideas for Christmas. And this is all based on sort of projects that are live at the moment. These guys are doing a Santa Dash. You know, essentially any form of fancy dress event is a great way to raise money, and you can literally sell tickets, or, you know, for the privilege to wear fancy dress or to take part in Santa Dash. So a reward could be £5 or could be entry into Santa Dash, for example. And I've put links to all the projects in the bottom here if you want to look at them later. Okay, just looking at the questions from Anita. Yeah, absolutely. So basically, you can choose which accounts the money goes into. So if your school's a charity, then you could choose that to be the bank account that your project goes into. Or if your PTA is a charity, you could choose that one. It's totally up to you. Essentially, it's just a classic, you know, you can't claim gift aid unless you're a charity. So if one of your institutions is, then I'd recommend using that one in order to claim. Okay, so this back to the ideas. You could do a virtual walk to Lapland, you know, very seasonal, or to wherever next year, to Timbuktu. So this is another one, and this is no rewards here, just simply like it's a fun thing they're doing in the school, and it's donate as much as you can to enter the virtual walk. Another really nice idea, which I talked about earlier, is a Christmas lights trail. Like, I would love the idea of doing this myself. Like I said, they can make this one better by having a reward as a ticket to the trail. So, you know, £5 to get to join the trail or to go on the trail. Yeah, it would be really sweet. But anyway, the point is the idea is nice and very, very easy to do. If there's good Christmas lights in your town or your area, we can encourage parents to put up Christmas lights in your area, and then do a trail to see them, socially distanced, of course. A prize draw. So we've had a few people asking about the prize draws. So this is one. They've raised loads. There's basically some core. So you need a license to do a raffle, because technically counted as a gambling. But you don't for a prize draw. And we've created a page which talks all about it. Essentially, there's key difference in a prize draw is that you have to offer a way to enter for free, so without donating. So if you literally say send us a postcard or send us a letter to this address, with it, we can enter the prize draw. That's fine. I need to include some T's and C's at the bottom to make it super clear, like how it works. So essentially, it's totally fine to run competitions with a free entry option. It's not without a license. It's not okay to run a raffle without a license. If you have a license, great, call it raffle. Just do it. But just be careful with that. Our prize draw page explains that, and you can look at the other projects which are doing it too. And it's a really, really great way. You literally set your rewards as entries, just tickets to the prize draw, and find the prize or several prizes. And the beauty of like this of combining crowdfunding, Rocketfund with a prize draw is that you have a prize draw linked to an objective. So these guys are trying to raise money to create a really nice outdoor seating area for their school, and they've got nice prizes you can win. yeah, and to be honest, as a entrant, I don't really care if I win or not, because I think I'm supporting a really great cause. So it's a fantastic combination. On crowdfunding on our sister sites at the moment, we've got people entering. You can win. There's prize draws for Glastonbury tickets, for Eric Clapton's guitar, all these amazing things, raising money to help support the road crews who currently have been out of work for like 6 months, 8 months. And so people are entering. They know there's a low chance of winning, but they don't really care because it's a really great cause. You can do the same thing with your school, and so whatever you're trying to raise money for, that's the objective. People want to get behind that, and there's a chance they might win something exciting as well. So take a look at our prize draw page, which I'll share the link in the email, but also in the I'll share it now. I'm concerned I might lose you if I do this, but you can save it for later. Right. Another thing you can do is an online Christmas fair. So obviously, normally a cornerstone of this term. Sadly, probably can't do it right now due to COVID restrictions, but you could do it virtually. So this in the middle is like their page, virtual winter fair. On the right is their awards. So they've got a long list of awards. I can get them all into the screen. I could actually just share this page if I can find it. And one comment I got on this one is that their reward prices, I think, are ridiculously low. You could, £1 or more. I'm sure you could go for more than that, like £5 at least, especially if it's an online donation. You might be surprised. Let's just try and find it now so I can share it. I just realized there's a. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Here's a page, live at the moment, 40 supporters. So a featured reward, so you can get everything for £5, which, I guess this is kind of, I really want to encourage schools, PTAs to think be more ambitious. Maybe in the offline world, it will only be £1, but when you put things online, people might want to donate a bit more. They've structured sort of the activities or things that you might normally do at a Christmas fair as rewards. This is probably my favorite reward I've ever seen. It's £1 to meet Santa on Zoom. I might pay for that myself. Or there's loads of other fun things like Christmas movie and snacks, Christmas outfit day, National Christmas jumper day, or even getting a photo whilst you're, of your child on Christmas outfit day. Like loads of really, really, really nice rewards they've offered there. I think they're a bit cheap, but that's totally up to you what you think your community can afford. What they've done really well is they had a really achievable initial target, £500, and they got like a £1,000 stretch target. You can see people are donating a bit more than £1, which is great, and lots of love coming on the comments box as always. Just the best part of it, to be honest. And then this project owner has been great and is just sharing updates as the project goes along. So updates, on the photographer, which is cool. You can add images to this as well. No, there's not an image on this one, but I think this update there was, just keep people engaged and telling the story. Right. So that's example of a winter fair. I come back to this slides. Any questions on that, guys? Any questions? Let me know. Okay, almost there. Last few ideas. We've run a campaign with thanks, Dan, with Peter Duncan for Panto Online. So Peter Duncan is a former Blue Peter presenter. He's filmed his own pantomime in his back garden over the summer and is selling tickets for individuals or schools to go to it. And we sort of teamed up with him to, there's two things you can do. You can either literally raise money to watch his panto. It's £150 for a whole school ticket. Any profits they make over above their costs against charity, but it's also supporting a lot of out of work actors. anyway, it looks fantastic. It's also in cinemas. Or you could put your own pantomime online. So, or nativity, school play, talent show, whatever it is that you normally do, you could do it in your bubbles, or in a safe way in school. Film it, stick it on YouTube as a private link, or on Vimeo with a password, and sell tickets to it through Rocketfund. So people pay in advance or whenever you're ready, and then you'll get a list of donors who've bought tickets, and you can just email them the link when you're ready. It could be a really nice way to spread some festive cheer virtually this year. And like I said, we've got a page which explains that as well. I'll just share it now. So you just do your own panto or raise money to watch the panto, and here's the link to that. Yeah, sure, Anita, there's a link just there below. And then here are some ideas which no one's done yet, but it's just something to think about. You could do. You could do an online bake sale. Sell cakes online in advance, and then deliver them either at the school gates, or even, I don't know, if you want to go door to door, you could do that too. But probably easiest would just be to deliver them at school gates as parents come pick the kids up. Or if you trust the kids to take them home safely and not eat them, then you can always send them home with the kids. You could do a quiz. It's funny, we did, the first lockdown one, we were doing quizzes every week. I think everyone might have got sick of them because I haven't been invited to a single quiz yet. This lockdown too. I'm not sure if it's because I was rubbish or because people are just completely sick of them. But this could be a great event. Really easy to do. You could literally download quiz questions online from somewhere online, and then sell tickets in advance via projects on Rocketfund. And then whoever buys tickets, you send out an invite. Maybe do it on Zoom, and have a bit of fun. You can also do wine tasting, beer tasting, cake making, cook along things. Just anything, just some form of virtual entertainment. I'm sure, to be honest, that people who bought tickets would appreciate the distraction. And yes, Sarah, this thing, this could definitely work next term too. So back to the Sarah, talking about the multiplier project or functionality. So you want each campaign should be for a particular thing. So because then there's a clear reason for it. So say you want to buy interactive whiteboards, that's a great campaign. You create a page, and then you could have sub projects below that using the multiplier feature, which are different activities contributing towards it. So you're trying to raise money, 10 grand for some interactive whiteboards. You're doing a quiz this week. That's a sub project. 2 weeks time, you're doing a Santa Dash. That's a sub project which contributes to the overall thing. And then in January, you're doing a bake sale, a sub project again, which contributes to the overall goal. The point is that they're all contributing to this overall goal of buying something particular. If you then hit that target and we go, we bought the whiteboards, now we want to build a better playground, that's worth doing a separate project for, because that's another clear objective, a clear thing that people can get behind and understand why you're raising money. So, and that's like a sort of overall project. So there's one overall project for interactive whiteboards. You then have a new objective that's worth creating a new project for. Same account, it can be on the same profile, you'll still see all your projects, but you wouldn't use the multiplier feature to create a new objective. I hope that makes sense. Thanks. Right, okay, so last thing, basically, you could just raise money. Instead of doing these activities, you could just be raising money, which is just like these guys, the interactive whiteboard guys, are doing with the multiplier feature. I think they could be doing better by having, I actually suggested them today, saying, guys, doing really, really well. Why don't you create a sub project? Like, why don't you do a quiz next week and do that as a sub project, contributing to this big target, which you're only halfway there. Because at the moment, all they're doing is getting the students to do sub projects, which is really great. It's working really well, but there's no way of re-engaging people who already donated. So say I'm a donor, I've donated 20 quid to them, I want to support it, great. I've got no reward because there's nothing back. you could then come back to me and say, hey, Ben, we're doing a quiz next week. It's £5 entry. It's still going towards our interactive smartboard appeal. Do you want to join? And like, that's a totally new ask. It's a new thing. It's something it's an experience that I'm buying. And so it's worth me donating again, because I'm guessing it's a new thing. You could always come back to me and say, hey, Ben, we're like still £7,000 below our target. Could you help out and donate a bit more? And if I'm feeling generous, or flash because there's all the pubs are closed, I might come back and say, yeah, okay, I'll donate another 20 quid. But by creating another event, or using these sub projects, you might engage more people to donate again, and maybe even donate more. So this is something to think about and worth trying. And this is I've already talked you through this project, but this is their page. You're just raising money with some help from their friends. In this case, it's parents and students fundraising. But like John said, it could be different classes. It could be different teachers. We've had teachers doing marathons or challenges. They could all be contributing towards the overall target. So like, say I was a staff member working at school and I fancy doing a marathon next year in January. I could be like, I'm doing a marathon, create a sub-project for this page, and any money I raise is going towards my school who want to buy some interactive smartboards. To be honest, I wasn't working at school, if I was an alumni of the school, I would be keen to do that. So if you have connections with your alumni, it's worth encouraging them to do the same, do that. Good question, John. What happens if you don't hit your target? So there are, any questions? Yeah, first one. If there's two types of projects. So there's all which you get to choose when you create your project, when you go through it. One is all or nothing. That means literally, if you don't hit your target, all the money gets refunded. No fees, nothing. Everyone just gets money back and you get nothing. Sounds terrifying. It could be terrifying. The reason we have this option is because it creates, a much bigger sense of urgency and jeopardy amongst the project creators and the donors. So we're trying to raise 10 grand. We're £500 away. If we don't hit 10 grand, we lose everything. Like, come on, guys, help us do this. You then might find you to get more momentum and support, and people will dig in to help you hit your target. If you don't fancy doing that, totally understandable. You choose the other option, which is keep what you raise, which is literally keep what you raise. So you have a target, I want to get 10 grand, but if you only raise £500, you just still keep £500. And so that's up to you. And you could, if you start off feeling confident and all or nothing, then you don't do as well as you think you're going to do. You can always reduce your targets to make it easier, or you can always message us and we can switch your project to keep what you raise. That's totally fine. I think at the point, if we switch a project to a multiplier project, so you have these people below, it switches to a keep what you raise project anyway, and it also will be always on afterwards. What percent of projects have all or nothing funding? I don't know actually, John. It's a new functionality. We used to crowdfund recommend it as a rule, and it's with crowdfunding projects generally that works really well. So say it's a cafe or a bike shop trying to, because you have say a bike shop needs to raise 10 grand to stay open. If they don't raise as much as that, it's almost pointless. So all or nothing makes sense. For a school or a PTA, if you don't raise the full amount, you might be able to find other sources of income to hit that target to buy the. So say, for example, this project, they want 15 grand to buy the smart boards. If they only raise 10 grand, that's still okay. They can just buy 5 instead of 7 or whatever. Or they might be able to find money elsewhere to make up the difference. Or they might be able to do a project, start another project next term. So totally up to you. Keep what you raise is probably less stressful. Any more questions? Got 5 minutes left, guys. So like any questions or any concerns or anything I haven't explained clearly? Okay, we'll probably leave it there then. If you do have any questions, guys, please let me know. I'll give you my email address here. in a box, but I'll also email you anyway with the slides and with the recording. Great, really glad to hear it, John. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Enjoyed the webinar. It's really nice to have like such an engaged group. Let me know if you have any questions. But you know, I guess the only thing my one piece of advice is just give it a go. Go to Rocketfund, just get started. It should make total sense. If you have any questions or issues or problems, just send us an email and we'll be able to sort it out. Nothing is permanent. We can always adjust things. It shouldn't take you. It all depends on how ambitious you are the project. So you've got great idea, wine tasting ticket sales. That'd be really simple to set up because you've already got a plan. The one reward is a ticket to wine tasting. It's basically as fast as you can type. So 15 minutes to get that set up, and it does take once you add your bank details, it might take up to 48 hours to verify your bank details. So that can be quicker. And yeah, with these webinars every couple of weeks, we won't get into another one before Christmas, but if you want to, we can do. If not, we can just do a call. And I'll send you a link to the recording anyway, so you can always share the recording with them. Thank you very much, guys. If there's any, keep finding questions. We've got a few more minutes, so if there's any other questions, throw them in. Wine tasting is a great idea, by the way, Anita. I'd love to see that on the platform. You're welcome, Anne and Sarah. Thank you. Definitely, really exciting. Give it a go. You'll be amazed how much you raise. I mean, the school's raised 10 grand in 2 weeks by doing a prize draw for some hampers. A gin event and a cheese event will probably do really well. How do you get names off the prize draw? It's really easy. It's in your admin panel. When you create it, I was going to screen share that, but I can't. That might be private. So if you create a project, when you go live, in your own project's admin panel, you can see everything. So you'll be able to see who's donated, how much donated, and you can use it to message them directly through the platform, which is super easy, and they'll get an email, or you can download their details into like an Excel spreadsheet, and then you can sort them out yourself. Sarah, I hope that makes sense with the prize draw. Anita, I would just set up a project on Rocketfund with a reward as a ticket to your wine tasting or to the gin events, and then that's it. You just send it out to whoever you want to invite. And I'm sure once you do it once and people will have it, enjoy it, they'll get behind you for gin tasting. I mean, to be honest, that's something that wine tasting or gin tasting is something which you could send to not just the parents, but to anybody friends and family and friends of friends might want to get involved too, because obviously there's no awkward interaction. It's just a really fun evening. Any more questions, guys? I think you're right. I might try doing this on Zoom next time, because this is a great platform where you've got hundreds of people, but it's not that. It would be nice to have a bit more, allow you guys to talk face to face next time. So we'll try that next time. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Good luck. This is a great time to start to fundraise, before Christmas, and there's some really fun things you could do. Just like wine tasting, quizzes, Santa dashes. Use your imagination and ideally try and get it in before Christmas. If not, you could always do it next year. Good luck with whatever you do, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for joining us, and have a good evening.